Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, Black teen in LA racially attacked by numbers of Hispanics at a LA high school twice. Where was the outrage? And then one of the Hispanics had a butcher knife that they were trying to use against a Black high school teen. I want to do a quick additional story as I did on the other Black high school individual that has numbers of people within certain parts of Panama's culture and some others who have tried to character slaughterness. The Black teen in Frisco, who was a 4.0 student, no criminality, raised up with great parents, great neighborhoods. But then when it was alleged that he pulled out a knife in self-defense toward this other Anglo high school person at this track meet, where it was found out that they put their hand on him first, which is assaultiness. And then they found out that the brother that allegedly that he might have also jumped in on the Black teen that was trying to have self-defense against them, in which the lies about how he should not have been over there at that other tent when he had permission to be over there in that tent. Right? And then the lies about the Black teen, that's the first time he ever saw that white Anglo teen, and it came out that was a lie too. I make this point in this story because at the outrage of how the racialness that tried to be portrayed as, but at the same time, how many people heard about this story about what I'm talking about the Black high school teen, about 14 something years old, around that, in one of the LA schools in Verdugo or something like that, Verdugo Hills Senior High, one of the high schools up there in Tujunga, California, something like that. You didn't hear too much about that, did you? Where this young Black high school student who got racially anti-American Black terrorized twice by numbers of Hispanics up there, in which again one of the Hispanics had a butcher knife and was trying to utilize against that Black teen. But you didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear too much about that, did you? Yes, very quietliness, right? So let's go ahead and get to one of the stories that I'm going to show you. So let me go ahead and share the screen. One moment here. Let me play this one first. Okay, here we go. Make sure that's correct. Make sure. All right, make sure.
And now to an update on a knife attack and lockdown at Verdugo Hills High School. Now, this happened on December 9th. Students were injured and a freshman was arrested. Today, the attorneys for the freshmen are fighting back and blaming the school.
NBC4's Gordon Tokamatsu is there with new details for us. Gordon?
Well, Colleen, a 14-year-old boy faces assault with a deadly weapons charges in connection to this incident, but he, his mom, and his attorney say there's a lot more to the story, and they have a couple of videos to show to prove it. This, says attorney Brad Gage, is how a freshman's first week at Verdugo High School began back in August. The boy, who is Black, is recorded by a cell phone in the restroom, punched and kicked by several students. The N-word is shouted several times. Gage says the school is required to take immediate action after such an event to keep him safe, especially after campus officials saw the video.
They should have suspended or expelled these children immediately. They did not do that.
That's why I'm most upset about.
The abuse continued, says the boy's mother, whose name was not revealed to reporters, even after she met with school officials and told them her son had been threatened with more violence.
He didn't deserve that. He was just trying to go to school, get his education like everybody else.
Then on December 9th, a second video. Another fight, same boy, surrounded, punched, and kicked somewhere on campus. Gage says shortly after this video was recorded, the fight continued just off campus. News Chopper 4 over the school shortly after the call came in, an aerial view of the campus on lockdown as police moved in to secure the sidewalk. In the melee,
2 of the attackers got stabbed, and we don't know how. It's a mystery to you, and it's a mystery to us.
the boy's other attorney, who joined Gage this afternoon, says he was taken into custody and handcuffed, but maintains that at least one of the attackers was armed with a butcher knife, not her client. And whatever her client did was justified because he feared for his life.
Why is this young man facing assault with a deadly weapon charge when he merely defended himself?
The boys' attorneys say they believe all of the attackers seen in those videos have been allowed to return to class. We reached out to LAUSD and the school itself for comment.
Mm. Do you see the animosity toward numbers of American Black youth, but not only certain ones within the Padam-based culture, the ones who do this? How many stories and stories are there about certain numbers of high school or junior high numbers of ones within the Padam-based culture, certain ones within Hispanicism or white Hispanicism, and unfortunately, certain ones within certain parts of Asianism, right, that have shown numbers of their anti-American Black hatred. But at the same time, the situation in Frisco, they try to sit there and blare out that one. But the one I sit there and showed you how minimized that was. And it was outright racial racism, hatred by numbers of Hispanics toward this 14 or 15-year-old Black teen in high school, where he was racially anti-Black right, twice. And then one of the, or however many of the Hispanic kids tried to stab him. But all of a sudden, in self-defense, all of a sudden, he also gets arrested. What the mess is that about? But let me go ahead and play this other particular video on this situation. But by the way, you'll have some foolish personnel to be like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? I mean, what are you talking about? You think it's all Hispanic? That personnel can go to HELL and Hades with that sidetrack switchery, right? Because they want numbers of American Blacks to believe in this black and brown nonsense crap that never existed. You only let me just sit there and play you a small clip that's brilliant by this gentleman that does hip hop cartoons and some other cartoons, very brilliant, where he is relaying over what the greatness of Mr. Neely Fuller. For the people who know about him and others who don't, Mr. Neely Fuller was a Black American man who knew how to break down this what should not be complex subject on racial racism and what he would call white supremacy, right, into just layman's terms. But let me just show something about what he's talking about, this black and brown.
Nobody else can make that determination. They decide. They say that these are the brown people. You have an expression now that's been going on for some time. Black people and brown people. Most black people are brown. You have an expression now that's been going on for some time. Black people and brown people. Most black people are brown.
But you have people that want to act like they didn't hear what they heard. Oh my, and try to act like when you say brown people, you talking about certain type of Spanish. Are you crazy? Many black people have brown skin. But let me go ahead and play this other particular quick video about this topic as well. Give me one moment here. All right, make sure that's it. Make sure that's it correctly.
Law enforcement is still sorting out exactly what happened. The fight broke out a couple of weeks ago and 2 students were stabbed.
The parent of the alleged victim says her son was assaulted because of his skin color. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia joins us live from outside the school in Tujunga with more clarification. Sid.
Guys, the family says they have filed a claim against the school district. That's the first step before filing a lawsuit. As you mentioned, the mother of the 14-year-old claims her son was assaulted because of the color of his skin.
My son, as stated, he was targeted, clearly targeted. He didn't deserve that. He was just trying to go to school, get his education like everybody else.
She didn't want to give her name out of concern for her safety. She says her 14-year-old son, a freshman at Verdugo Hills High School, was attacked twice because he's black. On the video released by her attorneys to Eyewitness News, it's been blurred because those involved are minors. The first alleged attack happened in August inside a school bathroom. On December 9th, the second alleged attack also happened on campus. One of the family attorneys describes what you're watching.
Where you see different boys who are not black, different boys who are not black.
Attorneys describes what you're watching.
Where you see different boys who are not black going after our client who is. He tries to defend himself. He's wearing a backpack. Not a very easy way to defend yourself in a fight.
It isn't shown on the video, but sometime after this alleged attack, there are allegations that 2 of the alleged attackers were stabbed. It's still being sorted out by law enforcement as to who may have stabbed whom. The teen who was allegedly attacked is due in juvenile court early next year. No charges have been filed. The hearing, as it was explained to me, is to sort out what led up to the assaults, if charges will be filed or the case dismissed. In a written statement released by LAUSD shortly after the assault a couple of weeks ago on campus, it says we are committed to our schools being safe spaces for all students.
Generic old terminology and stuff like that to minimize. But you really didn't see what you just saw. You got those people that saw nothing, they heard nothing, right? And they knew nothing, right? Now, if this had been vice versa, and there were several violent black kids, because you know they love trying to sit there and portray black kids as violent as well. If they would have did that to a 14, 15-year-old Hispanic boy, do you not know the super outrage in certain numbers of Hispanics? They'd be like, oh my goodness, see, anti-Hispanicism, even though it's Afro-Hispanics too. See the game. But there are so many people within various parts of America, again, that really do think American blacks are stupid. Right? Because there's just not enough numbers of American blacks, with very few exceptions, that are very tired of these little games by certain ones within the Panama-based culture, the ones who are very violent and the ones who have a natural tendency to deflect racial racism. But at the same time, when some black folks that do some things towards some numbers of personnel within the Panama-based culture, then it's about race. Man, get out of here with that. But certain numbers of American blacks, they're getting tired of that. Not enough. But certainly numbers of American blacks about to get on board and start understanding to stop allowing people to play these little games.
I say this calls for action, and now nip it in the bud.
What was that? What was that? Barney Fife? So people don't know, Barney Fife of the Andy Griffin Show, the iconic Barney Fife. Hey, Barney, tell him again.
I say this calls for action, and now nip it in the bud.
Yes, to nip it in the bud. One last thing I want to sit there and show is also what they were also showing, what they're also talking about. If you can see that here, just real quick. The thing says what? Black students style previously faced racism or racial racism attacks at school. What did I say? December 2024. Legalness for Black teenagers stabbed outside of a LA high school claimed administrators could have prevented the attack, racial racism attack, had they taken action against past racist, racial racism accidents or anti-Black incidents. A 14-year-old Black or Black American teenager was among the two students wounded in a violent, basically stabbing or racial racism anti-Black attack outside of Verdugo High School on December 9th. According to one of his legalness personnel, the Black teen, was chased down by a group of boys, Hispanic boys, one of whom was wielding a butcher knife. Before the stabbing. The legalness person has described the attack as racially motivated. Let me add something there. Anti-American Black, racial racism terrorized, racially motivated. Noting that the other boys are Latino. The other boys are Latino. And his client became terrorized almost immediately when he started high school there. And the nervousness and audacity of this, following the stabbing, the 14-year-old Black student was detained and put in handcuffs on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon. The boy's legalist said he's innocent, acting in self-defense. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. The damn audacity, right? The damn audacity. Right? He gets chased down by a group of numbers of violent Hispanic boys, right? The first time, last year, he was attacked in the bathroom by numbers of Hispanic boys. Then the second time, he was attacked outside, right? By numbers of Hispanic boys. And one of those Hispanic violent boys was sitting there, had a butcher knife. But then also the Black teen, who was not the personnel, who was the instigator, he also gets arrested. But at the same time, people, they see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing, right? The last thing I want to show is that numbers of American Blacks, today is April the 7th, 2025. If numbers of American Blacks do not get it within millions or more mentality, because very few American Blacks understand the game. And that's not enough, because if not a collective amount of American Blacks do not get with the program and start understanding, many cultures and backgrounds and et cetera, do not care about American Blacks. There is an agenda against American Blacks in this country. And they're utilizing border breaker, illegal immigrant personnel. They utilize numbers of immigrating personnel. They utilize all types of little games and agendas to sit there and do like an anaconda effect toward a number of American Blacks. And collectively, millions of American Blacks do not understanding they are headed for a destruction. And this is why I say if nothing collectively changes within the next, what am I saying? It doesn't even matter either way. American Blacks collectively only have half a generation to one generation left before the overall complete destruction of the American Black culture. And the only ones that's going to be around are the cultural Black American survivors that better get even more with the program of understanding there is an agenda toward American Blacks. Yes. And the last thing, again, I will say this. If American Blacks collectively do not get on the coldness collectively, right, it will be even more destruction toward the American Black culture, because American Black culture collectively only have half a generation to one generation left. And that number is going to be very smaller if more American blacks don't get on code to understand the hatred that is being perpetrated toward American blacks and deflectionary tactics that is happening. Because this is what numbers of people are doing. I want you to just look at this and symbolically. This big old John Hornet or Wasp, wherever it is, look at the little B in front. That represents a little, little American black here and there a little bit. You see the one right on top represents, some small amount of American blacks. And what people are doing, be it certain ones within immigratingness, border break illegal immigrants, certain ones within a turf lifestyle category, ones within certain parts of palm-based culture, ones within certain type of Hispanicism, ones within certain parts of certain type of Asianness, the one this applies to, right? There's people sitting there looking upon American blacks to sit there and step over and use as a footstool. And see, this is the game. They be like, oh my goodness. Oh, but it's not all. Go somewhere with that tactic. Go somewhere and game. Right? But see, American blacks collectively, if they don't sit there and do like constructive, what you're going to see, American blacks are even doing even more on this situation. So American blacks don't come together and be like this when people are insulting American blacks and sitting there thinking they're going to sit there and just put violence and deflectionary tactics and more hatred and more deflection and more denial. Right? See right there, symbolically, they grab up an American black. Oh, ha 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 ha! We got them. Instead of more blacks, like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, no, you can't be doing that. Well, hold on now. What do you mean by that? Oh, we're finna show you now. What was that again? Oh, you think you just chew on American blacks and disrespect them? Oh, no. Oh, you best believe, there will be more respect then toward American blacks. And they'd be like, oh my goodness, American blacks are not playing this disrespectfulness. They're not playing this violence to put upon American blacks. Oh, they're not doing that no more. But unfortunately, there is quite a number of American blacks that are very gullible and naive and deflection is, and coonish and sellouts and stuff like that. Don't get it. They are being used. And that's very few exceptions. So again, if more American blacks don't get on code, more American blacks will be destroyed even more. Instead of being like this, these other B's representing American blacks. Oh, y'all disrespecting American blacks? Oh, no. You think you're going to just eat on and disrespect and violate and violence? No, it's American blacks? Oh, no. It's a very powerfulness. It's a very powerful symbology. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.